we go. Hello, can anyone hear me? I don't know if my mic's set right here. Test. Okay, looks good. Huh, wait, I'm streaming the entire screen. Just waiting for everyone to trickle in. That can't be good. Just gonna wait for people to trickle in. How'd your guys' winter breaks go? How are our first weeks of classes? Huh? Huh, good to hear. Oh, man. These online lectures are killing me. Normally we'd have probably like 30 or 40 people sitting in a room right now, one of the computer science labs. Oh, it's tough to get over 10 people like this. No, async's nice. You get to go at your own pace. I got a prof that refuses to record his lectures so that you're forced to come to them. Real fun guy. Huh? Yeah, that's true. Alright, we got a few people here. Might as well get started. How many of you guys are new to this club? Or maybe have participated sparingly? Actually, I don't know why I'm asking for a response. I guess I'm not going to get very many in real time. So, we are the Competitive Programming Club. We do competitive programming. Let's see. Oh, you're new? Okay. It's good to see some new faces at least. Yeah, so this club has been around for like 2 decades. It's pretty insane. Through our entire history, we have formed a whole bunch of great relationships with sponsors, the faculty, and quite honestly, each other. Our team is very interconnected, and I'm very happy to have them around. So, yeah. things are good for the club right now, and they have been for years. We've also helped. Traditionally, we send teams to regionals and international competitions, and we've been training them up to go to such competitions. I do believe ICPA is coming up, or the regional competitive programming contest, and we will probably be sending people down there to participate and compete on our behalf. So that's pretty exciting. We used to be a little bit more, I don't know, training oriented, and had Saturday lectures so that people who are really into this stuff could, you know, practice to their full extent with our coaches. But as of late, there hasn't been as much demand for such a thing, and it's only become more difficult as COVID has come by. So if there is some interest in it, then we would be more than happy to start Saturday lectures back up. But for the time being, we don't have those anymore. But moving on, I'm going to tell you why we do what we do. We are going to teach you how to program algorithmically. So we will teach you the implementations and theory of common and complex algorithms, and provide a foundation for you to not only learn on your own, but open doors that you would not think possible for yourself. And I know what you're thinking. This is jargon because this guy has no idea what he's talking about, and you're half right. But if you do end up sticking through this club, doing the weekly contests, participating in our competitions, like, you will end up learning how to see problems and solve them extremely quickly and extremely effectively. You'll also notice that as you get later into your computer science career, that the interview questions that they ask you are very close to the questions you'll be answering in these contests. So you're pretty much future-proofing yourself by, you know, participating in the club actively. So why should you bother? Ton of benefits. Like I said, you will have an edge on your interviews, technical interviews. Like, imagine this: every single week you are doing technical interviews, and there's no pressure. You just get to learn how to do them, so that when you actually have to do them, you're gonna kick their asses. Other than that, you can doing this stuff will give you a major edge in 413, 313, all those algorithms courses. And also, if you get started early, it'll just kind of throw you into the programming language you want to learn. It's like it's a good teacher. It's a very good teacher, and it'll give you an edge in your programming courses. Participation in the club looks amazing on a resume. I've had sponsors look at the people who have come to our club, and they like seeing that you are X place in X competition, because it just shows that you have that go-getter attitude, you know. And in addition to that, our sponsors also scout our competitions, and they frequently put out job postings. They have their HR person come over and they talk to students. They bring their CTO and all of his team in. It's great. You get an opportunity to talk to all of these people if it was in person. But this year, we are more or less doing the same thing, and they will be doing a closing and opening ceremony for CCPC. So you will have an opportunity to talk to them this year too. Our team is actually very experienced too. All of our alumni, God, they're in great places right now. We got people at Google, we got people at Amazon, like, they're all over the place. And quite honestly, the people I've met in this club have been nothing short of brilliant. Yeah, no, they're great, and they're also very friendly. So if you guys have any questions about where to go in your career, or things that you should do, things that you should learn, things that you should really care about, then you can actually just ask us for guidance in our Discord channel. We'll just answer questions for you. Feel free to do that whenever. It's not like we have anywhere else to go at this point. Also, there is strangely a large amount of money to be won in this whole entire field. If you were to really commit to this, really kick ass, you could come out with probably $1,000, maybe $2-3 grand per competition. And we host one every semester, and that's just the ones we host. There's a ton being hosted by UBC, U of A, and generally they allow for people to come and join them from other provinces. So there is an opportunity. This is not, technically speaking, a waste of time. There's only benefits to committing to this. And a lot of the time we do get job opportunities. via email, either from sponsors or professors just looking for work. So if you keep an eye on our Discord and other announcements, you'll find that there's a lot of things that you can find. I think recently we were notified of a job fair from Synopsys, and that will be happening pretty soon if I remember correctly. Moving on. What is competitive programming? So, the soul of this thing is applying algorithms very fast by recognizing problems very fast. So, in this case, in this club, we use something called Caddis, which has a very specific format for all of its questions. And you can find it, every question will follow this exact format. So, 1, they will give you the word problem. 2, they'll give you the simplified output. The input, my bad. So they'll pretty much give you the raw data that they want to put into your code, or an example of it. And they'll give you the range in which that falls so that you don't have to account for anything outside of it, yeah. So they got the simplified input, they got the expected output, so this is what your code has to output. All this comes down to is that they're going to give you an input, your code has to read that input, and then it has to spit out something that, we still here? Okay, I guess we are. Are we still here? Yeah, okay, we are, sorry. Thought, internet cut off for a second there. Yeah, so, all it comes down to is they'll pump some inputs into your code, you submit it to their judge, they pump in those inputs, and then they're expecting you to give a certain output. Normally through a print statement. So it comes down to just recognizing what you need to do with their input data. And a key point of understanding that is actually reading this. Now, this right here, the word problem, may seem like, I guess, useless information. Because, like, why would I look at that when I could just look at the input? But this gives you context for how to actually solve the problem. Because you'll find that a lot of these problems actually play out more like puzzles. So the context really does matter. Beyond the input and output, this is where kind of the bread and butter of competitive programming comes in. You have to make sure that the CPU time and memory limit fall within what they specify. So, if you see here at number 4, you have a CPU time of 1 second, which sounds like a lot of time, but if you're working with, like, they give you sometimes stupid amounts of data, like hundreds of thousands of inputs. If your code cannot process it within that CPU time, even if it's right, it will count your answers wrong. Likewise with the memory limit. The memory limit, if it's too big, whatever the amount of memory you're using, it's gonna also kick you out. It's gonna say, no, that's not the right answer, and it's gonna make you try to do it again. Beyond those two things, we got the difficulty. So the difficulty will tell you what to expect, and it's from a scale of 1 to the highest I've seen is like 9.8, which is ridiculous. I think, yeah, no, that's I don't know how people solve those ones, but those ones are crazy. But difficulty 1 to about 2.3, I believe, is considered trivial. And then anything above 2.3 is easy, and then it just goes all the way up to, I think, insane at around 7 or 8. Yeah, Charlie's right. You are wasting the time that you could be writing a master's or PhD, and you are using it to solve that problem. Like, it's insane. Like, you probably write a thesis on some of these problems. Okay, getting off on a tangent. There's also sample test cases. So, you don't have to completely just read the input box right here, number 2. You can actually download sample files, and rather than put it through the judge and lose points in time, you can run the sample files through your code via your own computer. So that's actually pretty nice. The really nice thing about competitive programming is that hardware does not matter. CPU and memory are standardized by the judge that we use, which means that it doesn't matter how fast, how new as long as you have a computer that's built past somewhere around like the 1960s, you will be able to process this data as fast as any other computer. And they make sure of that to keep it fair. And really, knowing all of this, since hardware doesn't matter and you know that there's a CPU and memory limit, the question becomes, how do we handle larger and more complex inputs? And that's really the soul of what we do here. And the answer is obviously algorithms. It does not matter how fast an algorithm solves the problem. It just has to fall under the limits. So you're given 1 second. If it is 1 nanosecond shorter than 1 second in its time to solve the problem, then you're fine. Same goes with the memory limit. It just has to fall under the limits. And this has some pretty nice implications. Your code could be the most atrocious, hard-coded, disgusting, vomit-inducing, absolutely repulsive thing you've ever seen. But if it runs, it runs. That's all there is to it. Also, because of this time limit, you don't have to apply super long and convoluted algorithms to very simple problems. You have to kind of gauge what level of effort is necessary for getting success. It sounds a little bit daunting, and you'll kind of learn it as you go, but it also means that you don't have to be trying your hardest for some of the easier questions. It's really nice like that. So, also, traditional programming conventions that you use, when you're actually writing assignments and code and things for your classes, concepts, encapsulation, comments, none of that stuff. It doesn't matter at all. You just write. If you think you have an algorithm that can solve the problem, you just write it and you submit to the judge. That's all there is to it. So, with all that being said, there is a catch though. It's that you have to consider time complexity. And if algorithms is the soul, this is the heart. You have to consider the type of data and the number of inputs of said data. So when you start to get these problems, it's not going to just be they're going to feed you like 1s and 2s, 3s, just simple integers. No, they're going to start giving you massive lists or like tuples. They're going to give you a ton of stuff. Like it gets kind of insane, but you learn how to process as you go. The key to kind of gauging how much effort you need to put in lies within asymptomatic analysis, which is otherwise known as pretty much big O notation. It's the runtime complexity. So, with big O notation, there are some operations that are at, how do you put it? Some operations take more times than others. If I were to iterate through a list, right, it would have a big O notation of just n, because it has to go through each individual element of the list. And there are also what they call primitive operations, which count as 1. So, like, if you were to assign a variable some empty value, you'll see that the primitive operation is to assign a value. So we'll make x equal to 3, for example. That's one primitive function, and then you can do some operation on it that adds some more primitive functions, and that'll give you like an n of probably like 1 or 2. It really does depend on how many primitive operations there are, but it gets a lot more complex when you start to handle actual data structures, because like you're all of a sudden doing recursive things to process it, or you can't just simply go iterate through every part of the list unless it literally asks you to just search for something. Like it gets a lot more complex than that. I wish I put the graph here, but here, let me actually drag a graph here just so I can get this point across. I don't know why this isn't in here to begin with, but this is actually very important to know. So, you're gonna run into this graph is very important, and the good thing about this graph is that you. So, how do I put this? Your algorithm can be extremely clunky. In the most ideal and perfect world, you have an O of 1, which is like to say, which is to say that you're performing like a single operation, and it gets kind of more and more. I guess the more harder your computer has to work, the more likely it is to raise its its time complexity. So if I were to have like 3 nested for loops, for example, I would have a time complexity of n to the power of 3, which is extremely slow. O to the n is okay, I guess. It's not the worst. If I could find a better graphic. Here we go. So the thing is like, this is really intimidating. This is really daunting, but you have to realize that you don't have to really invent these algorithms. People have already come up with them. So at a certain point, you can, not even at a certain point, you can pretty much just Google like the time complexities of algorithms and see if it falls within the time limit. But the thing is you have to know what algorithms are used for what data structures and what purpose. So that's where the kind of the experience comes in. But the cool thing is that when you first start off, if we go back to the other info or the other graph, you'll notice that at the beginning they're pretty much all the same in time complexity, meaning like the time it takes for the program to run, or sorry, the code to run. So like at the beginning you can use whatever you want, pretty much, but there's fall offs, right? So as you try to apply the same solution to more complex problems, the time and complexity is going to go up because it's not an effective way of dealing with that problem. You can Google it. The best way to actually learn this is to do the contests we do every week. Those contests are pretty much essential to learning what you're doing, and moreover, you can just do problems by yourself on Caddis if you really enjoy this stuff. You'll basically, at some point, you'll be able to look at a problem and just determine what you need to do. And there are a number of people in the club who've gone to that point, and it's very admirable how well they do on our contests. With time complexity out of the way, that's kind of all there is to competitive programming. And I know I say that's all there is, as if that's a small undertaking, but yeah, no, I'll be fully honest with you, it is a lot of work, and you'll have to put in work to be good, and it's gonna feel like shit at the beginning, because you're gonna be trying to solve this problem that's rated trivial, and your code's not even compiling, or your input's not even being taken in. That can get extremely frustrating, and I understand that. We do have a number of documents on our Discord to help with alleviate that kind of learning curve. Thomas, one of our former executives, who's still very active, has posted guides within our Discord, pretty much, of how to get started with competitive programming. It goes over how to take inputs, it goes over a whole bunch of other stuff that's very important for you to understand at the beginning so you don't get so frustrated. If you're not a member of the Discord already, I'll be posting a link at the end just so that you don't have to. You'll see on the last slide that I did something really stupid, but we'll get to that. So back to the actual club logistics. If you participate in our contests, what languages? Sorry, give me 1 second. What language do you guys usually code in? C? A lot of people like Python. Thomas was very fond of it. Martin was pretty fond of it too. C+, good one. Pretty much any language that's popular is approved by the judge. You can code in Java too. Java is actually fairly popular too. So anything you're going to learn in your courses can probably be used to do this stuff. But going on back to the presentation itself, when you participate in our weekly contest, you start to get points. And for every single problem you solve, you get 1 point. These points contribute to an overall leaderboard, and as you guys have eyes, you can see that, you know, everyone here has solved this amount of problems. So what happens is, normally what happens is the difficulty of the problem gets added to your overall score. So if you solve like a... Actually, is that how it works? Probably not, actually, given that there's no decimals. No, I think it's a raw number. So if you solve like a 1.3, it's the same value as solving like a 9.8. The only difference is that you'd have to work a hell of a lot harder for the 9.8. This is just to kind of incentivize you guys to actually participate in the weekly contests. We do give out a generous amount of money at the end of every semester as to the top 3 leaderboard winners. And in the past, we have had winners to have lunches with like CTOs of R-Curve and personal meetings with Synopsys. It's honestly like, you learning all this stuff, you'd be helping yourself, but in addition to that, there's some perks to it too. Perks that will line your pockets. So just stick through it. Every winter semester we hold CCPC. That has not changed. CCPC stands for the Calgary something programming competition. I can never collegiate, something like that. Calgary Collegiate Programming Competition. They are very nice. Normally we'd be sitting in a big lecture hall giving you guys free pizza, and it would be a grand old time. But this year, since it's online, I get to be depressed in my room while the whole contest plays out, which is a bucket of fun. The prize money you can see off to the right. This year we kind of skewed the values a bit, so that is the money that can be earned. And I should probably explain the difference between Division 1 and 2. So, coming to these competitions, it's very intimidating because you're like, wait a minute, aren't there people who are 3 years further than me in their career? Don't they know a whole bunch more stuff than me? How is that even fair? Well, it's not really fair. So what we did was we created Division 2. So people who have not officially taken an algorithms course or has no formal education on how to actually implement anything related to like competitive programming, we have certain course restrictions, but those people are eligible to participate in Division 2. So if you are in high school or you're in your first year, you guys have actually a fair shot of winning Division 2 because everyone else there is trying to learn the ropes too. That being said, if you do feel confident, you can participate in Division 1. Division 1 is very competitive. If it was if it was ACPC, you'd have to compete against people from other provinces, like UBC, U of A, and that's some fierce competition. Those guys are pretty smart, but you do have Division 2, which is pretty nice, and you could also kick their ass in Division 1 and laugh at them for once because they always kick our asses. But anyways, moving on. This is a blank slide. So I put the Discord link here, but no one wants to type that out because that's dumb and stupid. So I'll make sure to actually, post in. Wait, I just realized something. Wouldn't you guys have all just come here from the Discord link? Okay, anyways, I'm gonna put it in the chat anyways. If you guys want to join the club, get notifications, you can find that all here. There's also a lot of information about job fairs and hackathons right now. So, yeah, there's a lot of information you can get. And if you do feel intimidated, don't worry. Feel free to ask us questions in the chat. We'll help you out. And there's also the learning resources. So the learning resources tab under the help category is very good. At the very top, you'll find Thomas's guide to competitive programming. So this is the time where I normally release the weekly contest, and I think the first 4 are pretty simple for you to get started with. I'm not gonna say that it's 100% easy, but the difficulty in those problems in the early stages is going to be trying to figure out what you should do with the inputs and how to get your code to actually compile. So if you guys would tune into the Discord, I will be posting the contest very shortly, and give it a try. You got any questions? Really do not hesitate to ask us. Let me just try to find the link real quick. Anyone have any questions? Thank you, Chris. Wait, Chris, were you playing with Jeffrey that one day on Valorant? Were you one of the people who kicked my ass? Let me just look around. Give me 2 seconds here. Oh, this is peculiar. At a contest? How do I just start it immediately? I'll just add 46 minutes to this, I guess. I think that's how it works. Oh wait, no. God, I missed Thomas already. I don't know how to do this stuff. This is actually my first time publishing a contest. Oh, that's in the past, okay. How do I... There's gotta be a way to manually make this go up. Okay. So add an hour. Lord, this is annoying. Okay, for now I'll put the link. I'll put the link to the contest. And then while I do that, I won't waste your time with trying to figure this out. So I'm posting that link right now. Just give me a few seconds to unstupid my brain. You'll find it in the contest links if you are new to this. It runs for an entire week, so don't feel pressured to get it done tonight. It has a whole bunch of problems for all ranges. So if you are new to this, you have about 4 problems that you can do to just kind of learn the ropes. Every problem after that will get progressively harder. Yeah. So there's the contest. To join, you click join contest in the top right. And if you do not have a Caddis account, I can help you make one. All you have to do is go to the website, create an account using like your Gmail or something, and then once you do that, it's the same process. You just click join contest. Once you're done that, I'll have my executive add you to the database, and you will be able to earn points on the leaderboard. Give me 2 seconds here. Just asked in the Discord server, then ask Thomas will answer in a few hours. Ask Thomas will answer. I'm gonna tell him you said that. Is there like a office hour to get help? Everyone here is actually very nice. If you ask questions in general, coding help, like normally someone jumps on to help you within the first like couple of minutes. Like you get fast. No one here shames. We've all been where you've been. Like, we all know how difficult it is to get started with this stuff. It's Thomas. I've seen Ian and stuff also comment. We got a couple of high school. And Jeremy, yeah. No, we got a number of people who like to help. And I'm very thankful for them. I really don't understand. I thought there was just a big green button that said publish contest. What a joke. Does that let me... So that's tomorrow at 2020. So I want today at what time is it? It's like 6 something. What is this time thing? It's like 6:20, okay. Okay. Should be starting in a couple of minutes. Oh. Should be starting in a minute. Jesus Christ, this is annoying. Okay. Oh my god, who made this? Okay. It should be starting in less than a minute. Yes, 25 seconds. There we go. I'm a genius. Okay. Again, ask your questions. If you have any questions now, I'll answer them. How long have you guys been in the club? I've been a part of the club for 2.5 years now. I've been president for 2 years. No, I haven't. That's completely a lie. I've been president for 1.5 years, and this would be my second? Yes. The president before me went off to Google, and the president before him went off to Google or something. Yeah, big shoes to fill. The rest of my staff, some of them are in 2nd year, most of them are in 4th year. We will be looking for junior executives if you guys are interested in joining our team. We're nice people. Oh, I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Julian. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, join the exec team. Funny enough, I remember saying this exact same thing to Martin. When I first met him, I didn't know anything either. And my logic was like, I don't really have a right to be an executive of this club if I don't know anything about competitive programming. And some would probably argue that you don't, but I would argue that you do. So we can train you up in everything. Like, everything we do is not technical. Somebody needs to send out emails, somebody needs to manage your finances, somebody needs to take notes during meetings. And we're just kind of like all cogs in an interworked machine. You don't need to know much. I should probably make this a little bit larger than just contest. And it's gonna be hard to get into, but push through it. You'll learn a lot. You'll come out a better person. Hell, you come out of school, you'll probably end up like Martin. God have mercy on his soul. It's owned by Google now. Yeah, I think that's the entire presentation. Yep, we're in CPC concentration, but we have had a number of software engineers come in too. Pretty nice guys, actually. One was trying to do rocket science, I think. It's actually pretty interesting. We got a number of pretty cool people. We got like Charlie, Chris is pretty active. Zach when he's actually there. Yeah, no, there's a ton of cool people to meet. Yeah, give the contest a try. I am out of slides. So I guess I'll just answer questions for now, because there is actually a fair amount of people still here. What made me join? What made me join? I don't know. I guess the people did. The executives of the club were really cool. Really cool to meet. So one guy named fucking Adrian. His stories border on fantasy with how outrageous they are. And I could just sit there for hours listening to his exploits. Martin's just a nice guy. Very keen on helping people. Has that kind of tough love vibe. He'll kick your ass, but it'll make your ass stronger, I guess. What else? Yeah, the whole team was just very nice. And, yeah. The work itself was pretty fun, too. I just wanted to be more active. You thought I knew the executives for uni? No, I just get to know people pretty fast. No, those people I don't even think they went to the same school as me. God, there's nothing like being locked in a basement for like 6 months. Hey guys, real fun stuff. Literally only leave the house to go grocery shopping these days. I remember there's a series of turnovers for we do need junior executives pretty badly right now. I'm not sure how many people are going to be here by next year, and I just want to have a safety net just in case. I've made sure that no one on the team is hostile or they're all chill people. They're not passive aggressive, they're not arrogant, they're just good people, I guess. And they'll do their best to teach you how to do stuff. Oh god, flat carbonated water tastes like piss. Okay, at this point I'm just rambling to myself, so again, any questions, ask me or someone else on Discord. Feel free to add us, just like, honest to God, just do whatever you want. That's a good question, I'll be posting a schedule of the meetings very shortly. Actually, I might as well just post that now. Next week, we're going to be doing binary search and ternary search. Our VP Academic, Jonathan, will be handling that. I think he prepared all of these over the winter break, which is definitely more foresight than I have. Give me 2 seconds here, and I'm going to post the meeting date, meeting stuff. Where do I even put this? Let's create a new text channel, fuck it. Clone channel? this is slightly tentative, but you know, it's still worth something, I suppose. Oh yeah, for those of you who care, CCPC has been confirmed for March the 6th. So feel free to participate in that. And this is the schedule. Let's see. Are you still allowed to compete as an exec? Is it still online? Yes. Yes to both questions. We are working with Synopsys to make it online again. Yeah. I would like it in person, but at the same time I wouldn't because we'd be spreading a plague. Are you still allowed to compete as an exec? So, we have our our VP academic handles our problems. So he communicates with our problem setters, as we call them, and they draft up custom problems for these contests. So when we make these contests, it is for money, and if it is for money, we can't just use problems from that other people have made because there is a chance that someone's already done it. So it gives them an unfair advantage. So what we do is we have people write custom problems for us, and we call these people problem setters. The VP academic is meant to communicate with these problem setters and make sure that it's delivered on time. They also are responsible for kind of getting all the problem setters working together. Our problem setters are great. They come through pretty much every single semester, and they do it for free. Like, I've been talking to the guys about paying them, but like, they do great work for how much effort they have to put in. Was that even your question? No, it wasn't. So what I'm getting at is that because the VP academic is the only one who deals with the problems, he's the only one who's not allowed to compete because he's seen the problem set. And if any member of the executive team has seen the problem set, they are not allowed to compete. And that's strictly enforced. Let's see. I think, actually, if I enlarge this, you can kind of see the old team. We got Charlie over there, really smart guy. We got everyone else. There's Martin right there. There's Thomas. There's Tony. There's Andrew. These were all, this was way before my time. There's Aiden. Yeah, but like, these people are all doing better things. I think this is the team of the year I was president, like when I was first president. So we got me over here, got Martin, Adrian, Thomas, Jeffrey, which is one of Chris's friends. Alan is off to TELUS. Jeffrey, I actually have no idea where he went. Jeremy's actually the president of the InfoSec Club. We're on speaking terms. He's a pretty cool guy. Jessie, she did our VP academic last year, pretty good job. And before that, she was VP Tech. She helped train up our junior execs for taking on academic. And Thomas and Adrian. Adrian, this guy, you ever see him on the street? Like, talk to him or something. I don't know. He's got some pretty funny stories. Thomas, quiet, reserved, but he's pretty smart. Pretty nice guy, too. What else? This is Mike Bauer. He's the CTO of R-Curve. The guy is very nice. He's pretty much our patron. For ACPC, he's the sponsor. And he's offered to give lunches with leaderboard winners in the past. But for obvious reasons, he hasn't extended the handout just yet. If you did participate in the contest before, we would be in a lecture hall, something like this, and you'll notice the balloons. Oh, the balloons were a great idea. I don't know who introduced this, but if you're one of the first 10 people to solve all those problems, they put like a balloon, they tie a balloon to your chair to assert dominance. So, yeah, people like to keep those. What else? Yeah, no, we would have pizza and stuff too. Lots of stuff. This is Tyler. He is the guy we work with for CCPC. He's the guy on the left. The guy on the right, I'm pretty sure is... Maybe he's just a winner. I don't know. But yeah, that's the team. Or the former members. We haven't exactly gotten the time to take pictures of the new members. Sadly. Nonetheless. Oh, okay. I kind of have things to talk about, not gonna lie. And I got a program in Haskell. Anyone have any questions before I sign off? I'm gonna take silence as a no. It's good to see some familiar faces, and I'm glad to see that there's some new people too. Seriously, invest in this, and it'll be very good for you. And I hope to see you guys around when all of this ends. With all that being said, good luck. I'm gonna leave the contest to you, and I'm gonna sign off. So,